loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla, and in today's video we are going to be talking all about birth control. Today I'm going to be talking about the pill, the patch, the implant, and the IUD because I have been on all of those and currently I'm on the IUD. So I'm pretty much going to be explaining them all, saying my side effects from them, and saying if I like them or if I didn't like them. The top two reasons people usually go on birth control is either to manage their period, so they want a lighter period, or they want no period. Or another reason, which is the top reason, is to prevent pregnancy. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the pill. So I personally did not like this method because I'm a very forgetful person, so I would always forget to take it. So when I was about 15 or 16 years old, I decided to go on the pill just so that I could hopefully manage my periods better. And I really didn't like it at all because I would always forget to take it. And honestly, it's super easy to remember, you know what I mean? It's a pack of pills and you just take one a day. It's super easy, but for me personally, I felt like it was just too much to handle, and I always forgot it. And, you know, if I had to take a pill that day, I'll just do it later. And that's not really the right way to go about it, obviously. So I don't really have like a super good review of this one just because I never really gave it that chance. So from there, I moved to the implant, which was placed right here. I still have the scar from it right there if you can see it. But yeah, so I did the implant and pretty much I just scheduled a date to talk to the doctor, and then they scheduled me again to get it put in. So like I said, I got it put in right on my arm, and it was a pretty easy process of getting it put in as well as getting it taken out. I didn't have a problem in that sense, but I will say I bled for 6 months plus. Yeah. So just for that, I hated this method because I literally bled all 6 months. Like not even 1 week, it stopped. So definitely wasn't my preferred method as well. I know a lot of people who went on this and didn't even get a period. So, you know, all of our bodies are different, obviously. But for me, this was terrible. I literally went on it not to have a period, and that's what it gave me, was a period. But yeah, insertion, everything was perfectly fine, and then when they took it out as well, it was fine. But the reason I obviously didn't like it was because it made me bleed for 6 months constantly, and I didn't like that. So being off the implant, I then went to the patch. I thought, okay, maybe this won't make me bleed for 6 months. So I went on that. I had a little scar on there for a while because I would always put it on there. I wouldn't like put it on a different part of my body or my arm. So that was my fault. But I liked this method. It was probably my second favorite method. Honestly, I really did love it. It was super easy. So pretty much you get a box of patches, right? And there's 3 patches in there. I was on the xulane patch, by the way. So there's 3 patches in the box. So say you start on Friday. You put the patch on and you leave it there for a whole week. The second Friday, you take it off, put another patch on. The third Friday, you take that one off, put one more patch on. And after that, 1 week later, that 4th Friday, you take that patch off, don't put another one on. And so pretty much after that, you're going to get a period like 3 to 4 days after you take it off usually, give or take. And then usually by this time, your patch is ready to go at the pharmacy again. So I would pick it up, and whenever that next Friday would roll around, I would put that new one on, and my period would get lighter about the day after I put the patch on, and then it would stop like 2 to 3 days after. So it wasn't bad at all. It was a very short period, which was amazing for me, and I really, really loved this method. Super easy. I know a lot of people say that the patch sometimes falls off. I've never had that happen. What I would usually do is I would take it out of the pack, you know, put it on my arm, and then I would just kind of like hold it there for a minute or two. This way it had a super good grip on my skin, and it was on there for the whole week with no issues. You could shower with this on, you could swim with this on, anything. It does not fall off, at least in my experience. And my absolute favorite one, which this is going to turn heads, but the kyleena IUD. I know what you're thinking, but yes, this is my favorite one, and I'm gonna explain why. So don't get me wrong, the insertion of it was terrible. However, after a few months, it is perfect. At least it was for me. So I still have it right now. I just got it, I want to say last October. So 1 year ago in a couple months, and this is by far my favorite birth control that I have ever been on. So let me talk about the insertion real quick. So that was obviously like the worst part of it. I got it inserted. It was extremely painful. I was screaming the whole time. I mean, badly. But then the doctor went out. She said, you can stand up and head out. And so I stood up and then I dropped to the ground. That's how bad it hurt. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to just get back up on the chair. This ain't working right now. So I just sat there for like 20 minutes and then someone came to check on me and they were like, "You're still here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm in pain still." And she was like, "Okay, let me go get you some medicine, a drink, and anything we can do for you." So she did end up getting me, I think, Tylenol or ibuprofen, something like that. And then she gave me like some juice and it helped a lot. I'm not too sure if you were supposed to take medicine before, but I didn't, and that was my fault. So I finally made it up again. I could get my clothes back on, and I was bleeding a lot at this point just from getting it in. It was very, very painful, and I didn't think that I would be bleeding in that moment. So luckily I was at the GYN, so they had whatever I needed, but it was just very, very traumatizing, that whole experience. So I understand why people say it's scary to get an IUD, because that was the most pain I've ever endured in my whole life. So fast forward, I'm on my way home. One of my family members brought me, so they're just bringing me right back home. And it was super hard to like even walk up the stairs. It was hard to walk to the car. That was painful. But we get home and I just go straight into bed. I lay down. I think I took like 3 to 5 days off of work, I want to say, which still wasn't enough, by the way. So, I wait those days out. I'm constantly taking medication. I'm on the heating pad. I'm sleeping constantly. And, then a few days later, I go back to work. I worked in a pharmacy at the time. And, if you work in a pharmacy, like, you gotta rush. You gotta get people's stuff done for them. There's, like, no time to waste. And it was terrible. The first few weeks were awful. I would literally have random cramps, like very, very bad cramps. I would literally have to take a break and just sit on the ground because it hurt so bad. I don't know what was worse, getting it put in or like that first month where you just have constant cramps and constant pain going through your body. So even though there was a lot of negatives in like that first week to a month, it was amazing for me because after that I had no issues for the most part, besides like cramps here and there, which were pretty bad, but it's fine. What I cared about the most was not having a period, which I haven't had one since about a month after I got it put in. So it's been amazing for me in that aspect as well. So personally, I like the IUD the best because it gave me no periods and super low maintenance. I never even have to think about it. I just have to get it changed in a few years, so that's amazing. My second favorite is definitely the patch. It was super easy. Just put it on there every week and take it off on the 4th week. So easy. And then even though I didn't have much experience with the pill, I'll call that my third favorite just because the implant was so annoying. And then of course the 4th one, which was the one I hated the most, was the implant just because it made me bleed for over 6 months. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you learned a little bit about birth control. And please let me know down below in the comments if you have had any birth control stories, good, bad, anything like that, and what your favorite birth control is, or if you want to try birth control. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.